Have you ever wondered about the significance of temple reconstructions in India? Why is it such a monumental task? The answer lies not just in the historical and cultural importance of these temples, but also in the legal labyrinth that surrounds them. In 1991, a law called the Places of Worship Act was passed by the Indian government. This law was enacted to freeze the status of religious places of worship as they existed on the 15th of August 1947. It prohibits the conversion of any place of worship and ensures the maintenance of their religious character. Moreover, it imposes a bar on filing fresh suits or legal proceedings in connection with disputed religious sites. This means that even if there is evidence of a temple having been demolished and a mosque or dargah built over it, Hindus cannot approach the courts to reclaim the temple. The only exception to this rule was the Ram Janmabhoomi case, which was already a hot topic in political and public circles and thus did not fall under the purview of this act. What about the other temples, though? What about the Gyanvapi Shiv Temple, the Mathura Krishna Temple, and the countless other sites in India that have been identified as having once housed temples? These ancient temples are not just places of worship, but they are also the heart of Hindu consciousness, devotion, and way of life. They are sources of wisdom and energy. Yet because of the Places of Worship Act, these temples cannot be reclaimed if a mosque or dargah was built over them before 1947. This is the absurdity suggested by the act. It's not about disrespecting other religions, but about acknowledging historical wrongs and seeking to correct them. Hindus have never been invaders. This country was always Hindu. The invaders were Islamic and British forces who came from the West, destroyed many temples, and built mosques over them. Even from a Muslim's perspective, this act of building over temples was done to establish authority over Hindus, not as a sign of worship or faith. True communal harmony would be achieved if Muslims voluntarily gave up all mosques that were built over temples and monasteries. Such a step would be a recognition of the indigenous people and their faith. Communal harmony cannot be achieved by enacting draconian laws under the pressure of vote bank politics and left-leaning ideologies. The only way of justice in this land of Sanatan is through logic, science, and intention. This land, Bharat, was an epitome of science and logic when the rest of the world was still uncivilized. Our Shastra teaches us not to fear the truth, whether it was in the past, present, or future. The court should follow this principle and reconsider the illogical acts like the Places of Worship Act, which lacks any scientific or rational basis. To summarize, the Places of Worship Act of 1991 has been a significant impediment to the reconstruction of temples in India. It has frozen the status of religious sites as they were in 1947, prevented legal proceedings to reclaim temples, and upheld the religious character of places of worship, even if they were built over temples. The act, while aiming to maintain communal harmony, has instead caused tension and discontent. It is time to reconsider this act and seek justice based on logic, science, and good intentions.